Hey everybody, and welcome to Hex Token channel and Superman Crypto. We are multicasting, streaming to both channels, over 9,600 subscribers. So big shout out to everybody out there. Hope you guys are enjoying yourself. Another day in paradise, and man, the opportunities keep on coming. We're going to talk about that. Now, if you're not familiar, Pulsechain is the people's chain, and we're going to talk about all that good stuff in the future. We've had a big whale splash today, and that's resulted in obviously the price charts, meaning that you can get lower prices, but also in mega hex penalties as well. So pretty big news there. Thanks. I was going to say something, but we'll leave that out. We got Phamous GM fork audit as well. That's looking good. So Phamous, I think that's going to be pretty neat. Come along with perpetuals, margin trading. That's always a part of the market. The better thing about being in DeFi, of course, is that it's your keys, your coins. So it's halfway there to pure DeFi. So kind of cool like that. We're going to get into all that, folks. And the mega payouts today on the old Hex T-shares, amazing. If you've got your T-shares, you are loving this volatility. It plays right into your hands. So kind of cool. Remember, Hex is a mutable code on the blockchain. You interact with it. You mint your own T-shares. You mint your own Hex. All that good stuff. It is a place to be. All right. Let's see. We got some comments in here. I can't see any of my comments at the moment. Let's have a look here as well. Let me see. Get into the old chat there. All right. Let us pull up some of these screens. Where's my comments? I can't see my comments in my studio. They disappeared. Comments, come out wherever you are. I can't see them. New comments. Oh, yeah, down here. All right, here they are. They have disappeared. What else? We got Sandy Beach in the house there. Good to see you, Sandy Beach. Actually, I'm going to post this up. Let me post this screenshot up. We're going to start off with Richard Hart, of course. He's tweeted out overnight, so let's post it up. You can read that while I'm going through the chats there. We got Sandy Beach. Hey, Sandy Beach. Hello. How are you today from Lies Beneath with the ultimate strategy, Hex, EHEX, PLS, PLSX, incentive for the win. 100%. That's the gold strategy of Richard Hart, of course. And man, if you can, anytime you can pick up prices cheaper, you're going to get so much more volume. And of course, we know that early in the chain, we're going to have lots of opportunities for this. But of course, the SEC is supercharged that at the moment. So that's kind of the place to be. Dollar cost averaging, picking up lots of volume. The benefit is that when whales sell the retail book, that's you and I, we get to pick up lots of tokens, which is pretty cool, right? Who else is there? We got Joey Torres as well. Hi all, good to see Joey. We've got Angor as well. Hello. Good to see Angor. Welcome to the chat. Expeditions in house. He's got some issues there. So I can't use Portal X anymore, either to buy Hex or Pulsechain. Internet Money Wallet needs to open the bridge to up to Pulsechain. Man, frustrating. All I want to do is buy without MetaMask Uniswap. Absolutely. That I see the issue there that you've got. Now you can buy on a GoPulse. And of course, I'm going to post a link to that. You can get that as well. I'll be covering GoPulse and many other sites. Now, if you go to our Discord, we've got a link called Useful Links. We've got all the on-chain, well, actually not all of them, but it's a lot of them, on a lot of the on-chain swapping platforms. And we've got a lot of the cross-chain platforms listed in there under Useful Links. So it's a really good go-to place to use that. So check that out. One of them, Hexpedition, is Alex McFerder's Hedron Uniswap V2 front end, and of course that is a fork, and of course you can trade on that. So there's lots of options in there for you. Expedition. All right. I'm going to be covering a lot of that stuff. That's where I'm going to be covering a lot of that stuff coming up. This is the area that I want to focus on. So good topic there from Expedition. Very nice. And of course, we're going to be covering Coast more often than two. Now there will be referral codes coming out with Coast and GoPulse. So you'll see those in all my videos. We're going to go hardcore on getting the demand up onto Pulsechain and, of course, the People's Chain. And that includes you guys if you want to use it as well. All referral fees will be going to buy, guess what? You got it, Richard Hart tokens. So that's pretty much it. All right, folks. Hex creators in the house there. Yeah, baby. You got it. We got Pumpkin now as well. Hey, Superman, we love you. Hey, appreciate that. Thank you very much. It's lovely sentiments. I'm gonna give you a little one of those little Instagram hearts that the ladies give or whatever. All right, hey, how you doing? Hex is a discount right now. Says stressful struggle. Absolutely. All right, what else we got going? We got Morning Fam and Superman and Family from Brennan. Good to see Brennan. We've got Archie in the house. Hey, Archie, good to see you. Hey, I don't know if you guys have been in our Discord lately, but man, people are posting project items and news flows all the time now. Really is getting engaged like that. So if you love to be on the front of everything, a lot of people in our Discord have been early to a lot of stuff that's been launching a Pulsechain, and it's benefited them a lot. There's a really good news flow in there. So get in there, folks. If you want to get some of the early stuff, get the big upside. That's a good place to be, you know. So definitely get into our Discord. Links in the video description. I'm sure one of the devs will post the link in the chat there as well. And it's really about community. Like, we got the best information, but it's really about community too. Get in there, and you can make some online friends, and also get some of the early intel on some of these projects, whether it's DeFi or NFTs. We've been covering all of it on here on Hex Token channel and Superman Crypto. High stakes Hex in the house there, Superman. How are we doing? Loving these prices. Can't stop DCAing. That's right. The retail book is getting a dream come true with all these special events from Wales, and of course that was spurred on by the SEC. And of course, I don't know if you saw Rags to Riches did a video yesterday with a lawyer on his perspective. They covered a lot of stuff. Now, it's a big topic. You can only cover so much, even in a 2-hour session or whatever it was. But it's definitely well worth watching. And yeah, very, very cool. What else there? We got Bobsled as well. Good to see you, Bobsled. Welcome to the chat. And Harry Williams, yo. Actually, let me just have a look at Superman Crypto channel. Welcome to you over there. Special Struggle is over there on Superman Crypto. Big shout out. And of course, lots of people here on Hex Token channel as well. This is the best community, says Sandy Beach. Absolutely. Very supportive of each other. We try to keep it family channel, no drama channel. We do our best to do all those principles that we have on this channel too, just so everybody can come and relax, and you don't have to stress out about drama or anything else. That's kind of the place we like to be. Excavator says nothing finer than a hex miner, says Excavator. That is true. Keep mining that hex and minting that out. That's the way to go. It's the people's Pulsechain. Is the people's chain, honestly. Super fast, super cheap. And of course, we've got all the protocols launching on Pulsechain. And of course, it gives you big upside opportunity that you just can't get that easy on existing chains like Ethereum, which are very full, very expensive, and compounding really doesn't work very well over there, especially for the retail book. So much opportunity on Pulsechain. What else there? DCA every chance, says Harry William. Nice. And Sandy Beach knows how to DCA. DCA for the win. Absolutely. Heard Liquid Loans is getting closer to launch. Yay, says Sandy Beach. Nice one. Yeah, well, like we say, we covered that in full yesterday. If you didn't see yesterday's live stream, we covered in the fetch oracles. That's what's holding up the big players. And of course, they all need some good price calls, right? And we want that too. The other thing, of course, is that we had the volatility from the SEC. We want that to quiet down a bit. Obviously, that topic's still being explored. Some whales still react to that sort of stuff. But when we get a bit more time under our belt, maybe another 4 to 6 weeks, something like that, things will calm down. So obviously we've got a bit longer period now to wait out because of the SEC stuff. But the Pulsechain is ticking along. People are still active. Projects are still coming. Nothing has really changed with the immutable code on the blockchain. And of course, over 37,400 validators. We're just going to keep going. We've got a huge community of influencers, huge community, and we can actually do a lot in crypto. We want DeFi to take over crypto, and we have the community to do it. We've got Humberto as well. Yo, Superman and family. Cheers from sunny Dominican Republic. We will be between here and Panama until the end of the horrible BS, says Humberto. Well, it sounds like a good place to be there, Humberto. And the fact that you're with family as well, that's a magical thing. Terry's got the hearts out. Love the hearts. Let's bring it on. And of course, end some long stakes on my birthday tomorrow, says Expedition. Very nice. Who else has jumped in here? Yo, says Humberto. We got Charity in the house as well. Good to see Charity. And we got Zen in the house there. Pulsechain is freedom. LFG. Absolutely. It is freedom. Well said, man. That is the truth. All right, let's get into it, folks. So Richard posted this tweet. I guess you guys have been able to read it. Of course, are you allowed to copy free and open source software, public software, says Richard? And the answer is yes. Are you allowed to publish whatever data you like in your free and open source public software copy? Yes. People allowed to run the free and open public software? Yes, they are. Are people allowed to run the free and open public software to communicate with each other? Yes, they are. Are people allowed to run the free and open public software to publish data? Yes. Are people allowed to see value in the data people published in the free and open public database? Yes, they are. Welcome to the blockchain. And of course, welcome to Pulsechain, the people's chain, This is as protected free speech as free speech gets. And that is Pulsechain, folks. Very, very cool. 70,000 views on that so far. Really, really cool tweet. So kind of cool. That's on Richard Hart's Twitter. I'm going to post that in the chat there if you guys want to retweet that out. And there's a few influencers in the chat there, so get that out as well. That's the thing is not only we've got a couple of influencers growing in this Discord. We've got Archie. I can think of Archie. I can think of Sandy Beach. And of course, they're just growing as well. If you want to become an influencer, I know that I think Christian is thinking about becoming a YouTube influencer. Get out and do it. Spread the word. You'll get a lot of support from the community getting out and about and do that. If that's something that you feel is right for you at this time, definitely get it in. For sure. Pudding Crew says, like Ivan says, smash the likes. Yeah, Ivan on tech. Yeah, smash the likes for sure. We got Christian in the house there. What's good? A DJ and MOB in the house. Yeah, maybe an influencer too soon. We're looking forward to it, Christian. Let us know how you get on. All right, that is pretty much it from Richard. Let's get to the highest of stakes. Obviously, this is the second weekend for the movie, the highest of stakes, and there's lots of content still out there on Twitter and stuff like that, being pushed out by influencers and other people. People in the community giving feedback, reviews, all sorts of stuff. And of course, the highest of stakes movie put out this as well. We talked about this yesterday. This was based on the 11th of August. And just to talk about going to these movie theaters. So if you're in these cities or you know people in these cities, you can get them out to the movie theaters there. We've got Atlanta, Austin, Boston, Charleston, Charlotte, Dallas. There's Denver, Houston, Jacksonville, Las Vegas, Miami, North Brunswick, Orlando, Portland, Salt Lake City, San Diego, Tampa, and Washington. So those are all ones that you can pick up tickets and definitely well worth doing. I'm going to post the link to the highest of stakes Twitter here for you to check that out too. So if that's something that's suits you or people that you think might go, tell them to check it out because that's the second weekend. And of course, we want to get up on the box office, don't we? And get a nice listing. We got number 20 or 19 on the box office list. But if you actually adjust it for the number of movie theaters, because we're in about 40 movie theaters, then we're actually ranked last weekend, which is the premiere weekend, at number 13, which is pretty cool. That's a pretty good number. So let's move into that. The highest of stakes on Box Office Mojo. And of course, you can see we did 40 theaters, $85,000. That put us at number 20 on the list. And of course, we've got the weekend coming up this weekend with all those theaters. So definitely spread the word. And of course, this also plays into getting a streamer, one of the big OTTs, to push the highest of stakes and get a lot of brand awareness. So think of this like brand awareness. And of course, brand awareness for Hex, brand awareness for Pulsechain. And of course, it is a fun film documentary. And people are talking about sequels and stuff like that. So we'll see where that leads. I could think of some really cool sequel ideas. I'm sure you could too. So we're looking forward to that. So that is the highest of stakes on Box Office Mojo. And of course, let's just go back here in a second. You can see if we look at the weekend results, we've got Barbie at the top. Apparently that's did pretty well. Even though it's probably got a lot of political crap in it. We got the highest of stakes in there. That is number 20 down here. Yeah. So let's see if we can move up the ranks this weekend and get those sales. Spread the word. All right, that's pretty much it. That leads us into crypto markets. And of course, overnight, the US had its Friday close, and it ended up doing quite well on the Dow, on the stock market. But the interesting thing, we had the Producers Price Index come out. This is kind of like the manufacturing kind of price level. We already had the CPI, the inflation, come down. It was slightly up but below expectations, and that was good news. We talked about that yesterday. Well, the PPI was slightly higher than expectations. So that may give a bit of a pause to the Federal Reserve coming up September. But I think we might still be able to rise through that. And I'm still thinking we have a very good chance that the terminal rate was in. And that's at 5.5% on the federal funds rate. That still means you got elevated residential prices, interest rates in the United States. I think they're up in the high sevens. Last time I checked, I haven't checked the latest. Might bring that up tomorrow or something. But that's kind of where we are on the stock market. Now, the crypto market itself, people were talking about a lot of USD Tether building up and thinking that maybe there's a big move about to be planned. We'll see what happens in that space. I haven't been able to confirm that, but that's what people have told me. And of course, we've got BTC at the moment, 29,425, just sitting in the 29 range. And of course, that's pretty flat. It feels like deja vu for the last 10 days or something like that on the old crypto. So it's got to break one way or the other. And of course, stock market had its run. Is crypto going to have its mini bull run too? we will see. And of course, Ethereum there, you've got people in different camps, right? You've got Holloway, he thinks we're going down to 15K. You've got Ivan on Tech, who thinks we've got to break out in October up to 60K. So, I mean, you got different people saying different things. Some of them are fundamentals like Ivan on Tech, others are TA guys like Holloway on the other side. So Ether at the moment, $1,847. That's kind of the break there. Now, ETH, of course, has got the chain that's probably got some news coming up when we get up to doing proto-dank sharding. And that's when we start to not only we start to speed up the amount that you can put through the chain, and of course move to arguably lower fees on the ETH chain. So that's kind of the hope there. That's the beginning, proto-dank sharding, and we'll see how they go. They got back on track with doing their forks, and so we'll see when they start doing withdrawals for validators. We'll see how they get on with that. They can keep pace on that road to increasing the transactions. Now, understand that may give an increase of 4 to 8 times the speed. Obviously, Vitalik's holy grail at the end of the roadmap is to get up to 100,000 transactions per second. We'll see whether that does occur in the future. But we know there's other chains with tech that are also already super fast and do huge volumes, but they have very low amount of users on them. That's the kind of the play at the moment on the old ETH. Everything else pretty stable. SHIB looks like it's a standout again today. Was that 2 days in a row, up 5.5%? That's the old SHIB there. Looks like a standout amongst the leaders. That sees us into Pulsechain, Pulse gains, of course. And of course, we had the whale impact yesterday. Maybe Rags to Riches show at the lawyer was too good. It was too good. And we got the price there at quadruple 0494. Now, I do strongly recommend watching it. It's probably the best commentary because it's an actual lawyer that actually lives in that land and, of course, does those sort of activities. So it was probably about as good as you're going to get in terms of commentary. Rags is going to have another lawyer coming up to talk about that as well. Maybe come up from the angle of a defense. I think that there's a lot of issues with the SEC claim, but of course that's my opinion. I think you can make a common sense opinion, an intelligent opinion about it based on some of the facts. There's a lot of facts that seem wrong, and some of the arguments seem weak form arguments, what I call weak form arguments. But we'll see. It's nice to see professional lawyers in the space put their arguments in as well. It looks like Ray's going to have another session on that. So that's going to be really great. Education, shining light on things is much better. Much better than not having everything fuzzy and grey. So it's kind of good having perspective on there. And I would like to see the next lawyer that Rags has talk about how defense might work there in bigger detail. So that could be quite good. I do strongly recommend checking out Rags's video on that. All right, we got the price there at quadruple 0494 on the old Pulse. It is 49% of the sacrifice price, and of course is down 8.52%. So that is the price at the moment down. And of course we had the whale impact yesterday. And of course, let's have a look at the data there. So we had the whale selling down here. We had the two big volume candles here. We started sliding down. We were actually talking about this in the TA on Discord, on one of the audio chats actually, just before it happened. And we were just saying, if it breaks down through 5,200, then we're going down. And maybe the timing there, it was more of a fundamental issue than a TA issue, in my opinion. And of course, then we got the whale in staking and all sorts of stuff and selling down. And then we got all the way down from 4,200. Once we broke that support, the reason why we had support there is you can see these little spikes down here, gave us the three of them, gave us sort of a support line between 5,100 and 5,200 on Pulse. And of course, the fundamental there moved us down, and we got down as low as 4,577. Can you believe it? And of course, we've managed to just slowly push up. Takes a lot of effort, but we've got to slowly push back up, heading back towards 5,000. Not quite there yet. We're at 4,940, but we're trying to push back up there at the moment. Now, that's on the hourly. Let's look at the daily on Pulse. The daily on Pulse, we've got the Fibonacci there. See the Fibonacci? I put that overlaid. That's from the V recovery. So the V recovery, we got down all the way down to what did we get down to? Just to make sure I got on the right candle here. We got down to 3,358 after the SEC stuff came out. And you can see we had these two big blazing red candles. And then we had a third candle that actually turning green. And we got down to the bottom of the V there. You can see the V. It was like what I call a quasi V. It never completed. But that is where we got to. It actually got up to a fairly strong bullish point of view, but of course we've still had more fallout there, and all you need is a couple of whales to trigger the sales down too. So we're still going to get through that, and it's going to take several weeks to calm down. Probably is the way you look at that. But in any case, we got down to 3,300. We're now back at 4,941. So let's have a look at the percentages on that just as we go. Let's do the percentages. Is that going to work? Yeah, percentages. So we're up about 46% from the bottom there. And of course, we did get down to the Fibonacci. Now, Fibonacci's, we got down to 78.6. Normally, when you have a retrace, something you might get back up to 61.8. We tried to hold that for some time, but we actually had support lower than that. So it was kind of indicative that we're going to add more pain coming. And so that because the Fibonacci 61.8 was at 5,400, but we had dips down already down to 5,100, 5,200. And of course, the news still coming out there. We've ended up breaking through that. And that means, what does that mean? That means we've got the 78.6 Fibonacci in view. And of course, that is down at quadruple zero, 4,500. And we actually got pretty close to that. We got down to 4,577. So arguably, was that the bottom? Or we still got a little bit more pain to go before we move up. And of course, the trend is your friend at the moment. We're still not out of the woods quite yet. But hey, we'll see how we close the day. The day is about to close in about 7 minutes on my chart. And it's not too bad at this stage. So we'll see how we open up tomorrow. Tomorrow's pretty critical for this trend is your friend type of thing. But we're still not quite out of the woods yet. 4,500 is kind of the support line there. After that, there is no real support line. It is the 3,300 down the bottom. And of course, that is a pretty weak form one once we get down to there. So not really much action happening there. So we really don't want to get down to that as well. So that is the line there, 4,500. As long as we hold that and start, consolidating, pushing back up from there, it'll be pretty cool. So keep a watch out for that over the next day. Pretty important candle for tomorrow. All right, that's kind of my assessment from my point of view. Let's have a look at Pulsex. Pulsex is at quadruple 156. It's down 8.3% at the moment. And just checking the chat there. I've got to make sure I check the chat enough because sometimes I don't, and then I end up realizing I haven't got screen or something like that. Detached Souls in the house with the super sticker. Got to stop commentary for that. Let's show that up there. We all appreciate what you do for the community. I appreciate the Detached Soul. Thank you very much. And a big shout out. An active member in our Hex Token Discord as well. So big shout out. All right. What else there? Let's jump over to Pulsex has that quadruple 156 down 8.3%. Pretty similar. Actually slightly less than Pulse at the moment. And of course, we got the price there. One Pulse will get you 3.17 Pulsex at the moment. And I'm going to talk about Pulsex a bit later when I get up into my top 5 picks for DeFi. So we're going to talk about that in a minute. But the buy and burn is like amazing. 342 billion is the buy and burn. Look at this number. There, look at that. Woo! 341 billion, 866. Man, oh man. So whatever goes on in the market, volatility, downtrend, an uptrend, a sideways trend, we're still burning Pulsex every single day. And it's kind of cool like that. We've still got high transactions. So that's kind of cool. And the retail book is going for gold on it. We got 1.64% of all the public Pulsex is burned so far, and I think that's going to be supercharged soon, right? Referral codes are coming out for the swap feature here on GoPulse, and so this thing's going to start rallying up. And we've also got the Coast referral codes coming out as well in a couple of days. For non-US, UK, Australia, and Canada is coming out hopefully for a couple more countries in 1st September, and of course you guys know I'll be covering that. Now, the other thing is that is Pulsex. So let's jump over to Pulsex. This is on the hourly there. Obviously, we dipped all the way down to 14.23. We're back up at 15.56. And I think there's a lot of upside in Pulsex once we get through this immediate SEC sort of volatility and downtrend and price discovery. And at the moment, we're about 9% off the bottom there at the moment from that candle. That leads us into the daily. Let's look at the daily on Pulsex. That's Pulsex here. So the 78.6 Fibonacci was at 1370. So far today, we've got down to 1422. So today's close very important, and of course tomorrow tomorrow's candle is very important there. Tomorrow's candle is the one to watch. So we've still got potential downtrend there, but hey, it's not inevitable. And of course, at the moment, we bounced off 1430. Our Fibonacci is at 1366, so not too far away. But are we going to go down and bounce off that to test that? We will find out tomorrow. Tomorrow's the one to watch. So tomorrow, please, let's see if we can break that. It'd be kind of cool. What else there? Yeah, the 61.8 was at 1668, and we were mulling around that quite a bit. But we did have the same pattern, obviously, with the bond liquidity and everything on the Pulsechain there down at 1600. And of course, we broke through that too. The funny thing is, we were talking about it in the Discord. I couldn't believe it. We've had so many conversations like that you would not believe. I was in another conversation talking about PDI, and I won't. We'll just say it was profits were taken at the right time on PDI, and then all hell broke loose. With Somi's tweet and all sorts of stuff. People trying to understand what was going on with the PDI, and of course its relationship to PUSD and all sorts of stuff. So that was pretty dramatic. Some of the cool stories we could tell. It's been pretty funny. All right, so that's kind of cool. Incentives there. We've got incentive token at $2.19, down 11.4%. And of course, the buy and burn, the amount of emissions. So there's 7.8 million incentive tokens in existence. 13,000 now have been burned through TYRH protocol from Jacob and the BNB bot team, which has been, looking, that chart's still looking pretty amazing, which is 0.16% of incentive supply there. Cool. So that brings us on incentive token. Let's have a quick look at that. The ratio there, you can see it's just been shedding all the way down to 44,472 pulse per incentive. So that's pretty much that. Not much to say about that. Most of that's coming out, or all of that's coming out, being emitted from the farms on PulseX version 1. Remember, there's two versions on PulseX. Version 1 burns all the transaction fees. 0.29% basically goes and buys and burns PulseX, which is why we've got such an awesome buy and burn number. But V2, obviously, 0.07% goes to the buy and burn. 0.22% goes to the fees. So if you want a yield farm in a pool and earn the fees, and then that's in V2. You have to go to V2 to do that. But V1's got the farms, and you can see the returns at the moment. 100%, almost 101% on the DAI wrap pulse at $19 million there. USDC is at 91% at 7.8 million. Wrapped ETH at 76% at 9.3 million. And USD Tether, the final one there, at 100% at 7.1 million. Hey, but apparently these bridged in stables aren't the only ones that are being priced up. Normally, stable coins don't get priced up, but of course, Pulsechain copied them all over, and so we've been seeing some action in the old PDI, the fork copy, getting priced up as well, and some arbitrage functions in there, being able to mint tokens and to sell those and to cause arbitrage. So we've seen some activity there. Now, in terms of PulseX and Pulse, we've got what's happened to my APRs? It disappeared. 15.4% is on the old PulseX Pulse one there. Still pretty good, right? If you've just got your money parked in there, and not bad. And Hex Pulse there, 21%. That's not bad as well, right? You parked your money in there. That's pretty good too. And finally, incentive tokens there at 84%, 85% on Pulse and PulseX respectively as well. So, and the money's still holding up pretty well on there. Now, we are waiting for single-sided staking pools. I'm sure that will cause quite a stir. And I'm sure Richard is well aware of the charts that are on here at the moment. So these charts here. So I'm sure the PulseX team is aware of these charts, and it'll be interesting to see when we do see single-sided staking pools there as well. I'm not expecting to see limit orders for some time, and of course the DAO as well. I don't see any reason why you would have that out right now after the events that we've seen. That's pretty much it. Hex at the moment is at PHEX is at just under a penny, 0.0942, and of course on the same bond liquidity, and of course the whales splash there. In staking and lots of stuff. We can talk about that as well. In fact, where have I got that? I got somewhere. And we've got EHEX there at just under half a penny, 0.048. And of course, one PHEX equals 191 pulse, and one PHEX equals 1.97 EHEX, which is actually slightly weaker than yesterday, which is kind of cool. The combined price of EHEX and PHEX is 1.42 cents. That is the price there at the moment, and they're all pretty similar, down pretty similar, aren't they? 8%. I think incentive token is down the most at 11.5 because we've got the ratio there just sliding down. So let's have a look at PHEX at the moment. That is the PHEX chart there on the daily. So I haven't got the hourly view, but that's the daily there. And of course, if we look at the hourly there on PHEX, that is how we looked. It all look pretty similar, don't they? The whale selling down, nearly in staking, and back up we go as well. That is on PHEX. Let's have a quick look at the ruler here. We're going to the bottom, so we're back up about just over 10% on PHEX. Looking at EHEX here on the hourly, EHEX is also down, actually, probably more on a percentage-wise, is it? Yeah, up 16%, almost 70% on the old EHEX, which is probably why that ratio has gone below 2 to 1 on the ratio. Looking at the combined price of PHEX and EHEX, we'll have a look at that. But before we do, let's look at the EHEX daily chart. Now, this is bridged in EHEX, by the way. It's not the EHEX on the Ethereum chain. And, of course, they are the same, but obviously different liquidity pools and things like that and bonding and stuff. So 0048 is the price there. And, of course, we bounced off 0042 on the old wick there. Let's have a look at the combined price. Looks like we've got a little bit of a green hope here. Let's see if we can get a continued move up. We're at 1.43 for EHEX and PHEX. This is the combined chart, and you can find this on investdex.io. This is a 15-minute view, so 15-minute candles, and we're pushing. It looks like we're going to try and push up here. Let's see if we can do it. Let's see if we can inch out a green candle tomorrow and stop the red trend as your friend. And yeah, the retail book gets a good chance to pick up a lot of volume, so it's been kind of cool for them. All right, that's pretty much there. The ratio, of course, one PHEX gets you 1.94 EHEX. So you can see EHEX is relatively stronger, or at least PHEX is slightly weaker today, depending on which way you look at it. All right, that is pretty much it on the charts. We're going to get into the Pulsechain projects and everything else, the PRC20s. Before we do that, though, let's have a look at the stats for the validators. We've got 37,496 validators at the moment, and that has actually started to increase again. So that's kind of cool. We had a little bit of shedding of that, but it's actually started to rise up again. And of course, let's see if we can hit that 40,000 mark that Richard talked about when he was talking about APY as well. We got 1.2 trillion of Pulse is off the market, not sellable. In addition to the EIP 159 burn, and of course the 4,096 validators that exited early on. That is pretty amazing. So we're probably up around the 1.4 trillion or so as well in terms of off the market, which is kind of cool. And of course, we've got the liquid loans coming up, and it may accelerate that supply sink as well, making less a pulse on the market, which is always a good thing for helping price move up over time. All right, and of course, the gas prices super cheap on Pulsechain. We got 2 cents for a Pulse X swap, 1/10 of a penny for a Pulse coin transfer, and 4/10 of a penny for a PRC20 transfer. 369 times cheaper than Ethereum. Thank you very much, of course, to the Pulsechain and Pulse X teams. And 332 times cheaper than the Bitcoin. So thanks so very much to Richard Hart for creating such a awesome new McDonald's. New McDonald's there. Get your Big Macs where you can. It's kind of cool. What else we got here? I think we've got a few other things I don't normally talk about, but that's pretty much it. We'll jump away from that. All right, let us jump over to the new projects. We're going to get into all this. Before we do that, though, let's catch up in the chat. We're going to get into the next section of this live stream, which is getting into other categories. So we always start off with Richard Hart stuff and Pulsechain's evolution. But of course, we're going to get into the price discoveries for the top ERC20s, PRC20s. Then we're going to get into meme coins. Then we're going to get into Pulsechain projects. And we're going to have a little look at the stablecoin for CST as well. And maybe we'll have a look at the PDI as well a little bit. Who else has jumped in here? It's just scrolling through the names here. Big shout out to everybody on Superman Crypto, of course, and Hex Token channels. Streaming to over 9,600 subscribers, so really cool. Go Pulse Win in the house there. Hi all, good to see you. Go Pulse X Win. Welcome to the chat. And Brennan says it's my partner's birthday today, heading out for the lunch soon. Nice. Remember to have a nice cool light beer there, Brennan. What's up, Hexkins? What's up? Happy Friday, says Tintop. Yeah, well, it's already Saturday here in down under here in Australia and New Zealand in the Pacific Islands. So, yeah, big shout out to you up in the Northern Hemisphere there on the Friday. What's up, Hexkins? So good to see you. Check my pulse here as well. Whales dumping, high penalties. I'm still buying, working. That's the way to go. Check my pulses onto it. Yeah, bring a friend. Tintop says, I liked Identity Block stream today. Lots of rants, good stuff, says Tintop. What else there? Go Pulse X says, did you all hear about Alex's Hedron's migration day? Yeah, I'm going to be talking about that. That is a topic we're about to come up to very soon. So that's on the menu. What else there? The news today, not the actual migration. That's Q4. Yep. We're going to be talking about all that. Let me look at some through there. I'm just jumping through all these comments. Let me just go through all those. Scroll. Nine fingers. You think price ever go sacrifice? Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course I do. Smog's in the house there. Happy weekend, Hex Token. Great stream, sir. Thank you very much, Smog. And of course, Pulsechain is in the house. We've got Jacob in the house, everybody. A TYRH V3 going live in 2 hours. We'll have to pull that up too. I was going to pull that up. I hadn't because I hadn't seen any news on that. I saw a tweet just before, but nothing new. We'll try and pull it up towards the end of the live stream now. And Ivor as well. Yo. Good to see Ivor in the house. Welcome to the chat, everybody. We've got almost 50 people watching. So big welcome to everybody. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel. If you love daily Pulsechain content, we are documenting Pulsechain as best as we can on this channel every single day. So you can always go back to an old video, see what was happening in there. We should most likely have covered it. Yeah, kind of cool. All right, let's get into it. Top ERC20 or PRC20 discovery, price discovery on Pulsechain. And of course, we've got most of the ones that I think that are ones that we've that I think are important to watch. And I've got it by liquidity pools at the moment. So we've got Wrap Bitcoin up there at 136K. We've got 134K for Pepe. Now there are other pools, of course, but these are their main ones. Maker there at 56K. DAI stable. I pulled that in today. That is at 44. And we got SHIB there at 41K. Wrap Bitcoin, of course, another pool for 34. So there's some of the bigger pools. Now, if you can either search by the return or the liquidity. I've just got liquidity set up at the moment. But if we go to return 24 hours, we can see that Chainlink is up 6%, but there's only 5.2K liquidity, so a very small pool there. Compound is up 3.7%, but 2,400, and that's pretty much it on the green candles. So let's go to liquidity though. Let's look about liquidity, and let's go by liquidity there. And we can see that Wrap Bitcoin is at the top there, $21.52. So that's actually pulled back a little bit as well. That was up around $44, got all the way down to $14, managed to get back up to $31. Is now $21.50. Now, Wrap Bitcoin, of course, price discovery, it's kind of like the meme version of Wrap Bitcoin because it's not actually backed by actual Wrap Bitcoin, by Bitcoin on the Bitcoin network. So, but hey, look, anything can be priced up. Pepe and SHIB get priced up. So you're not surprised there as well. Now, speaking of Pepe, Pepe is up there at the moment, and I think this is the number one meme that could get priced up towards parity over time. If Pulsechain starts moving up, the trend is your friend, and this could start to lift pretty well versus the actual Pepe as well, or versus Pulse itself. At the moment, we got 7 zeros, 1379. So it's sort of just sitting in this sideways zone here. And we're looking forward to that. Once Pulse starts moving, that could really start moving really strong relative to Pulse. And head potentially get enough momentum that, it's all about confidence and sentiment and things like that. Get back up to its glory. That's pretty much it on those levels there. We're going to jump through that. Obviously, we've got SHIB as well. And I'm going to post a tweet about these after the live stream. So look forward to that. That is coming out. And we've got 7 zeros, 9,000 on the old SHIB. There's a SHIB at the moment. You can see it's just down also in a support zone. Very different looking chart from the other one, of course, for Pepe. But definitely down in the support zone as well. We'll be watching this one too after it broke out of that sort of channel that it had. All right, that is it for that. We're going to jump away. Have I got the DAI stable? Have I still got that? I can't remember. Is this the DAI one? I think. Yeah, DAI here. Look at it. Got all the way up to 3,500. Man. And then we had all the Somi came out with a tweet out here, but it already started sliding here. And then, of course, Somi came out a tweet somewhere in here, and it started sliding all the way down. Came down to 1,300. Can you believe it? 3 zeros, 1,300. And yeah, tried to make a recovery. And of course, you never double pang. So if you sell at the top, and I know some people that did, so if you sold at the top, well done. And of course, we were talking about it right at the top here. I'm telling you, we were talking about this thing. We're going, oh my gosh, look at this thing. I said, sell, and man, that was the right call. And down it came. It was unbelievable. You don't know how many times this has happened. Because we're covering this every day, we have a good knowledge of what's going on. It's hilarious to watch some of the stuff. And we're talking about like 10 minutes before it happens. That's unbelievable. The coincidences are amazing. Yeah, down it came. And yeah, got all the way down to 406,000. Tried to fight yourself back up here. It's currently at 407,258. Now, an important lesson that you must do if you're in something that's going through price discovery like this, and some people say for no good reason, because it's a stable coin that's copied, is you always got to say to yourself, if you've made good profits, don't go back in again. Don't go back. The chances are that you will lose if you go back in again, right? So if you made good profits on the one go, be happy with it. Be content. Don't let the gold bug, the greed bug, get control of you. If you manage to take good profits, take those profits, and don't look at the chart again. Don't look at the chart again. Now, if you took profits and you see a bounce back and you think, oh man, I picked it up way cheap and I'm going to get more profits. No, it comes back down, and that's more likely to happen by quite a bit of country mile as well. Now, you got to wait until it sort of stops its slide down as well. You got to remember where it came from, and it came all the way down from here, 40,1700, and it got all the way up to 30,335, and the volume came in only here. And someone was pumping it up there, and away it went. And of course, there was some ARB module that you could use, and ARB that, and we saw Dipcatcher put out stuff around that, and other people as well. So just be careful with that. There's also another token as well that looks like has a trading pair as well. Now, obviously, this if this does continue to rise, maybe treated like the ultimate meme coin, then it's a good chance it could lift other stable coins as well that are copied, like PUSDC and others. So it will be interesting to see this. We're in price discovery. Anything is possible, and we saw some of what's possible here, but once again, very risky as well. All right, so that's pretty much it on there. Let's jump away to the meme coins, and the meme coins at the moment, we've got what do we got here? We got where did the ETH go? This is from 9inch. We got Paul Pleb. So I've just searched this by liquidity, and of course, these are the ones that I think are going to do particularly well. Pulse Dodge as well when 9inch comes up. Now, let's have a look at 9inch. 9inch, of course, is had its audit. So 9 days ago, it had audits. I posted an update from 2 days ago. And, of course, audits were going very well. And they're getting closer and closer. It looks like they probably have their sacrifice set coming out probably over the weekend. So congratulations if you're part of that 9inch. And so we're looking forward to see that come out. And so on. So that's kind of the play there. For the memes, let me have a look at the play there. So I put out a ticket here on the top 5 picks for Pulsechain, and this is what's coming in the future, right? So it's kind of future proof from that point of view. The investor of today does not profit from yesterday's growth of Warren Buffett. Just one of those clues when you're looking for value. The investor of today does not profit from yesterday's growth, Warren Buffett, and of course top 5 picks moving in. Pulsechain, single-sided staking pools, big DeFi, Paul Pleb, 9inch, Pulse Dodge there, 9inch. Of course, these are coming in the future, right? So that's future growth, not this past growth here. Fiat, of course, Forkavave. I think this is probably the weakest on the link. You think you're wondering what? It's a Forkavave. Well, the thing is that you've got to get a certain amount of deposits and borrowing on a platform. And I think that there's other better alternatives. You're competing with other yield opportunities. That's why I still think it's going to be good, but not as stellar as some of the others here as well. So we'll talk about that. Now, Beat, of course, from Beetroot Privacy Hub, Privacy and Multi-Chain. I think that's they've got more things happening on the multi-chain, more services coming. I think that Beat is undervalued as well. And the thing about all these charts, except for Fiat, is that they're all well, Fiat kind of as well. They're all underpriced. They're all at the bottom of the price chart. So we're going to look at that in the meme coins. So let's go have a look at the meme coins. We can see that at the moment. So these got the bigger pools with all these tokens, Paul Pleb, Dodge. And of course, where did the ETH go is probably going to do well as well. That's going to be going on my tweet today. That was their latest meme coin that they launched. I got 3 of them. They're probably all going to get, we know Pulse Dodge and Paul Pleb and Dodge are going to get single-sided staking pools on 9inch with the BBC token. So that's going to increase the liquidity and demand. But also where did the ETH go as well. Now, if we have a look at these pools, let's go and look at Paul Pleb. Paul Pleb here, look at that. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Hot dog and a dog. That's what happens when you have a delay. You have a delay in the audits and the launch, and then you also have the SEC FUD. This is what happens to the chart, right? So, bam. And at the moment, you always buy when something's really fudded out. I mean, 9inch is still coming down the pipeline. And, of course, that's the good news. But here we are. Look at that. That is some crazy stuff right there. Now, actually, I think I've got a link to my tweet there. So let's go find that that I posted. I posted lots of stuff and retweets, of course. This is Twitter X. We'll see how long it remains free speech. I'm still a bit dubious about that, especially what I saw today from the CEO. Yeah, I'm a bit curious about that. They've come out with a new algorithm on Twitter called free speech, but not reach. And, of course, we knew Elon was talking about that. But they said, we'll allow anything that's legal, but that is awful. Well, what is awful? We're back to the same problem. What is awful? So is awful everything other than a certain worldview? We know the worldview that's been dominating on Pulse on Twitter before, so we'll see what happens in that space. Anyway, that's a bit of a side note. Where's my tweet here? I got a tweet here somewhere. Don't know where I put it, but here it is here. So 9-inch DEX here, DEX yield farm. That had obviously had 16 million sacrifice there, getting closer to launch on Pulsechain. And this was an update from Turn Crypto. The 9-inch, this was on the 9th of August, so it's only 3 days old. Audits are 90% done, single-side staking under review. Everything else is done and approved, so looking really, really positive. And this single-side staking, folks, is what we're looking for these meme coins, Paul Pleb and Pulse Dodge. Looking for marketing companies, talking with 2 possible collabs. The sacrifice multiplier spreadsheet will be posted in the next few days. So it's already been a few days, so we're looking forward to that. I'm not sure if it's out yet, didn't check today, but that should be coming anytime, probably over the weekend. And of course, they've got some chat in a few weeks as well, so they're going to have that up as well. That is from 9-inch, so that's kind of cool. That is, we're expecting the Aave to launch, the fiat fork of Aave, and we're expecting 9-inch to launch after that. And then I would say we're going to have Liquid Loans, Power City, Fetch Oracle, and Phamous launch all after that. So that's kind of the run at the moment. Right, so that brings us to Paul Pleb. Now you can see the price is really low. The FUD is, the fear is high, and of course you got the protocol launching. So this seems like a pretty good range to buy. That's why it was on my top 5 pick list. Obviously not financial advice. Do your own due diligence, all that good stuff. But this looks like pretty obvious to me. Anyway, so we got the Dodge there as well. So look at the Dodge. That is Dodge on the daily, and you can see Dodge also on the daily there as well. Actually, this is not the one I wanted. Sorry, wrong one. That's Jeff Kanakis' Dodge. We're going to go to Pulse Dodge. Sorry, Pulse Dodge is what I want to talk about. Scratch that. All right, so there we are at the moment. We're at 0032, and of course the fear of FUD and all that delay in 9-inch, and that is down at 0032. What a great place to buy because as I said, this is coming down the line, still coming now pretty soon, and of course getting very, very close. Could be a couple of weeks away still, but looking really, really good there. All right, that's pretty much it. We'll come back to these charts in a couple of weeks after when we come up closer to the 9-inch launching and see what they look like. All right, that's pretty much it on the Pulse Dodge there. Let's have a look at the best performer. No really good performers in green. The best performer at the moment based on percentages is Ben token there, but very small liquidity there as well. So that is the meme coins. We're going to jump away from that. Let's go to the Pulsechain projects. This is our final category. The best performer on the percentages is actually more token from Trayvon. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Trayvon will be happy about that, up 3%. And then, of course, second best performer over the last 24 hours is TYRH. And, of course, we had Jacob in the chat there as well. And TYRH there is, what's it up, 1.3%? Look at that chart. Hey, my party, that's the chart that everyone loves. well, everything else is going down. This is going up. Look at that thing. 004054. This has got very unique gamification. Burns Richard Hart tokens, of course, as it's basically like an hourglass that's got different gamification. And of course, if you go do stake and then end stake before maturity, you get 55% penalty on that too. So it's got the staking penalty, not just the tax in, tax out. So that's kind of cool. And of course, we got more stuff launching for that. So let's bring that up actually while I'm here. TYRH. And of course, we had the Jacob said it's launching in 2 hours. The V3, version 3 is about to launch. So there we are, 38 minutes. It's still happening. Pulsechain hexagons, Stairway to Heaven continues. Then 59 pulse per TYRH. Now 82 pulse per TYRH. So obviously a lot more pulse on the pool. And they're about to launch version 2 in 2 hours. Just one red candle out of 29 days. How about that? You can see it looks pretty amazing on this chart here. What token is that? They've got obviously the burn tokens there, TRH burn, so it's up and away there. And yeah, they've got V3 about to launch. So definitely check that out if you want to check that out. So launching in 2 hours. We won't be covering it because we're not going to be live then. But that is coming up there very, very quick. All right. I said we got lots of stuff to cover today, man. Honestly, we're still going through this, folks. This is the show from. We've got so much stuff, but that's what happens when you're documenting. That is pretty much it. That's on the TRH. Let's look at what else. Those are the two greens today. But one of the picks that I had, Beetroot, is only down a little bit there, so that's actually pretty good. That's got huge liquidity, 125k. So that's actually a pretty good pick today. That was on my top 5 list. And I really think that's a pretty look. It's down the bottom as well. So you saw Paul Pleb Pulse Dodge, Beetroot all down near the bottom. Pretty good picks in my view. And of course, the Pulsex, of course, for relatively play, expecting single side staking pools, and of course, all the DeFi to come out after we get through this SEC FUD early period. And that's kind of where we are at the moment. And then I had Fiat as well launching possibly this weekend, if not early next week, is the guess there. No update from them, but we had an update around Phamous, so we're going to talk about that. So that's kind of cool on the old Beetroot as well. So kind of nice. All right, those are the leaders there. You can see, go through. Everything else is down here at the moment. Fiat, of course, the other one I talked about, that's down at 26 cents. So this is the other one in my top 5. And of course, this might have a little run up. It all depends on how they launch it. But that might get a little run up too. It's at 26 cents at the moment on the old Fiat there. That's the next one we're expecting to launch on the Pulsechain. Everything else is pretty much down. Pulse rate there having the biggest hit here. P share rate down there to $1,100, $1,100. That's probably the biggest, hardest hit on there. That's been a very good performer, but it's been the hardest hit lately, down 40% on P share as well. And if you understand that protocol, they have a ratio for Prate as well. That is down about 20% on the Prate token. So that's probably impacting the yield on P share staking there too. I haven't pulled that up, but it's probably there. Anyway, that's pretty much it. We're going to jump away from that. That is the Pulsechain projects. And let's get into the upside. So obviously we've got projects coming in the future, which is great. Obviously Pulsechain is amazing. These are the big blue chip ones. These are the biggest ones coming that we're aware of in the near term. Now, there are a lot of project teams working on stuff that has not even been mentioned in public. And there are a couple of projects like that. They're coming down the pipeline. And so stay tuned for those. There's the teams working on some very good protocols for Pulsechain that are big protocols and not even in public. So stay tuned for that. We'll cover those when they come out. Which major blue chip lending protocol coming soon to Pulsechain will you use? I put this out. I probably should have put this out much longer because there's probably missing a lot of the northern hemisphere countries, which is obviously a big part of crypto. But in any case, we got 470 views, 42 votes. So we've got about 10% return on that. Liquid loans was 28.6%. Power City earned 31%. Interesting that Power City eked out the dominance there. Fiat or Phamous 2.4% on the small side. And like I said, if we had probably had northern hemisphere voting more, then we probably would have got a higher vote for Fiat and Phamous. And of course, I think there's more education around those that's required. There's lots of education around liquid loans and Power City, but Fiat or Phamous probably need more around that, particularly around the Phamous protocol. We have covered on this channel, but we need to do more too. That is margin trading, perpetuals, and it also has liquidity provision as well, yield funding, which could be pretty juicy returns for those providing liquidity. More than one, 38% are going to use more than one, so that's pretty powerful. Yeah, looking really good. I think these are going to get used quite nicely. I'm going to put another poll out, probably put it out for a longer period of time, and I'll probably leave it a day and put that out because I want to get Northern Hemisphere, Americans, UK, and Europeans, and everyone else filling it out. So that'd be kind of cool. That is the cool looking forward. Now that brings us looking forward. Now we're looking forward here. So those are the protocol big blue chips coming out. But of course, the big news today as well was Alex McFerder, one of our top devs and protocol providers, derivatives of Hex, of course, Hedron and Akosa, and does amazing stuff for the community. He's got this big update out today, and of course, it's expected to launch in testnet on Q4. We're going to have a quick run through this. Now, I do believe that Crypto Sloth is doing a full in-depth analysis of this, so you can check out Crypto Sloth's channel. I think that has already been on already. I haven't actually watched it myself, but you can check that out. The future of Akosa Hedron. This is his update. So we're going to read the intro, and of course, I'm going to highlight some of the details in there, but we're not going to go through it in depth. There's a few pages long. It's time I share phase 1 of what I've been working on, which is kind of cool. He's like the magician. He's like the wizard. And it's kind of cool like that. It comes out with this magic stuff and it comes out with these awesome things, right? It's kind of like that. And the future of Akosa Hedron, we've been thrust into a world where when we are now spread amongst 2 chains, that's Ethereum and Pulsechain, of course, in an effort to innovate interoperability between these 2 chains is, in my opinion, a must. And I agree with him on that. And a lot of the devs have been doing protocols along that line. My previous post about the HSI marketplace was a snippet of the reality. And of course, we knew about the HSI marketplace. That was exciting. But he'd also hinted at a suite of different protocols were pretty cool. This is more, but this is the big deal here. All right, this is the big deal. This is the big takeout. So if you remember one thing, remember this. This is the takeout. This is more or less a relaunch of Icosa and Hedron. So it's a big deal. It's an earthquake in the Icosa Hedron ecosystem. This is more or less a relaunch of Icosa or Hedron as one protocol, and at the moment he's named it Icosa Hedron. How about that? So there we are. That is the takeout there. So it's a relaunch of Icosa Hedron. The core of this new multi-contract protocol is extremely similar to the previous two. However, numerous alterations and improvements have been made to facilitate multi-chain interoperability. So that's pretty much it. Icosa Hedron ecosystem. It's going to be a relaunch of the system, and of course, it's going to enable a lot of new features, including the main target multi-chain interoperability there. Awesome stuff. So congratulations, Alice. We're excited about that. This is not an airdrop. Remember, this is not an airdrop. If you have Liquid Icosa or Hedron tokens, you will have to trade them in to upgrade. That's important. You have to trade in your existing Liquid tokens for Hedron Icosa to upgrade. If you have Icosa Hedron or Watson stakes, you can upgrade them to the new version and keep any existing yield. So that's very important. I know that Wookie will be happy about that. He's our Icosa Hedron specialist in our Discord. If you have HSIs, you can upgrade them to the new version and keep any existing yield. So here's a quick TLDR. HSIs get new features. So if you remember anything, you get new features in the new world of Hedron Icosa, or Icosa Hedron as it's called. You can bid on either chain. So there's one of the features there. You can bid on either chain. These are in the auctions with native or bridged in tokens. And that's the cool thing, native or bridged in tokens. So awesome. You can stake with native or bridged in tokens. You can use the marketplace with native or bridged in tokens. Hopefully testnet by Q4. We will see. So no expectations, but that is the pipeline there. He's then lots of cool updates about each different product that he's got. HSIs, of course. Hex stake instance are going to be called Hex mining instances. How about that? HSI is going to be called Hex mining instances. So moving the language to mining, which is kind of cool. And of course, he's got lots of cool things. I'm not going to go through all this. We're going to highlight a couple of these things. Claim airdrops. You can claim airdrops. Now you can find all these updates in our other token chat on Discord. So if you want to come and see all the stuff here, rather than me copying it into the chat, you can find it in our Discord under other tokens. And of course, you can read all this detail yourself. And of course, I strongly suggest going watching Crypto Sloth, which I believe is pretty much the biggest YouTuber that covers Hedron Icosa. There are a couple others, but I think he's pretty much the main one there. Yeah, there's probably 2 or 3 that are really good, but it's definitely probably at one of the top ones there. Able to claim airdrop to native Hex miners. So it's kind of cool. You'll be able to do that. Claim airdrops. That's a really cool feature. A lot of people want to do that. HMIs can have multi-sigs. That's a new feature. Multi-sigs coming. Cool. So you can claim airdrops with HSIs. Multi-sigs coming. So big deal there. And of course, Hedron's HMIs do not need to be tokenized. They will always be in token form. That's kind of cool. Hedron, of course, updates for that. Batch mint support, leverage, borrow, Hedron. Kind of cool. There's lots of different updates there. I'm going to run through all those. I actually haven't gone through all that in detail, so I need to jump through there. Icosa, of course, is coming up. Icosa updates, staking, HMI buybacks, and lots of cool things in there too. HMI swap, there's going to be that available. So the marketplace we talked about earlier for HMIs and Watsons, users can list these for Icosa, Hedron, Hex, and Hedron. So it's kind of cool. We've got lots of cool things in there. Fixed price or auction, fees taken in Icosa or Hedron directly burnt. So it's cool deflation, and fees amount are not public at this time. So it's kind of cool too. Gas fees as low as possible. Kind of neat there. So lots of cool enhancements. So here's some notes at the end. Now he's got liquid loans, liquid coins, can be migrated for 30 days after launch. So you talked about him saying that if you got liquid stuff, Hedron Icosa, then you've got to actually trade them in for the upgrade. So liquid coins can be migrated over 30 days after launch. After 30 days, the redemption rate is cut in half. After 60 days, and then after half again. So you've got to get in early to the new world of Icosa Hedron there. Icosa and Hedron stakes can be migrated. That's pretty easy. Watsons can be migrated anytime, no restrictions. And old liquid tokens migrated to the system are locked into the contract forever. Just remember that. Now, he's got on considerations for other things, poly considerations. Poly should be able to migrate to Hedron 1-to-1 rate. Pretty cool. And he's got Maxi and Friends. So this is related to Dipcatcher and Goldkey and those products. Also, Hex derivatives. You got to remember Hedron Icosa and Maxi These are all Hex derivatives, so kind of cool. The airdrop of Hedron should be given to those guys, perhaps through the team token, which is the DAO token there. So kind of cool. All of this, he says, is subject to change, or perhaps it never happens. However, code is more or less complete. He's a funny guy, and is in private testing stages. There will be a testnet, ideally around Q4 2023. Have no expectations because I might not even finish this. It says that's pretty hilarious. And again, this is a trade-up system. Stuff you have already minted or not magically minted again. If you want to get the new versions of these tokens for your old tokens, you need to trade them in. So there we are. That is a bit of a quick summary of some of the key things there for that. But you can find all these this update in the other token chat there. Someone has posted that. Big shout. So that's a huge update. That is about as big as you get. Earthquake update there for the old Alex McFurter Hedron Icosa system, which will now be called Icosa Hedron. So get into it. All right. That is pretty much it. But we're not finished, folks. There's so many updates today. We're going long, an hour a minute. Actually, we're not doing too bad. 1 hour and 1 minute. But let's get into Phamous. Phamous, of course, the GMX fork. And of course, it's ranked. Last time I remember I checked, I think it was ranked about 75 on the CoinGecko list or something. And of course, it's a decentralized margin trading or perpetuals. And of course, you don't have to do the margin trading. You can provide liquidity and get paid pretty handsomely for it. And I think this is going to do pretty well. You got to think what's going to do pretty well, right? Things with high yield, and things with really big utility. And of course, being able to short, go long, up to 30x. Remember, so on Fiat Fork of Aave, you basically do a 1x there in terms of leverage. You can borrow and then go buy or short or long. But this here, you can go up to 30x. So it's pretty crazy. I'd never recommend it, of course. If you're ever going to do margin trading, which I don't generally recommend, then 3.3x is typically a good level if you're going to go that high. Remember that. So audit half done. Audit 1 of 2 for Fame has been done. Flying Colors should have Certec in a few days as well. So bullish on that. So Solidity finances the audit. And of course, looks like they're going to have Certec as well. 1 of 2 of them for the Fame there. The GMX fork. That's going to be a big deal. I think this one is a behemoth. I think it's got potentially big utility. We could get a lot of the big farmers coming from CeFi coming over here. Decentralized exchanges really is a big opportunity. I'd like to see some marketing for that as well from the Phamous team. I'm sure they're thinking about things like that. We know that Liquid Loans and Pulsechain are, and of course we haven't really talked much about marketing because a few of the teams don't have the budget. But we know that Liquid Loans and Pulsechain do. So Phamous should do as well because they're right up there with the Sacrifice set as well. I think it was 15 million or so. So they're probably right up there. So cool. Flying Colors should have Certec in a few days. So bullish news there. And like I say, Liquid Loans, Power City, PH Universe, they're bringing the big ecosystem to Pulsechain, and they're not stopping. We've heard from Crypto Crazy from Liquid Loans that they are making other partnerships in addition to what we've seen so far. And of course, they're particularly excited about one of them, which may bring, I don't know, a big utility or a big partnership that has a big influence on Pulsechain. So we're looking forward to that too. These big three are really going to be fun in the DeFi space. As you guys know, we're predominantly a bit DeFi channel, but we do like to cover Pulsechain generally, including PRC 21 markets as well. So it's kind of cool on there. Big news there from Fame. And if you guys want to check that out, I'll post that link in the chat there. You can check it out as well. And of course, they're doing more airdrops, right? Haven't they got 7 more airdrops to do? Something like that. Something like that. I think they were doing 10 all up. I think they've done 3 so far. So people were slowly getting some, was it P-Hux or something like that? That's kind of cool. All right, that is it on that one. And wait, there's more. There is more. Obviously, we talked about the whales. I talked about the whale splash and the mega hex penalties. This is leading us up into the hex daily payouts. But yeah, we had the big whale there. I don't know. Maybe they watched the rag to riches thing and they got a bit spooked or something, whatever. But we got big penalties. Look at 14 hours ago on Pulsechain, 26 million. They got rewarded 30 million here. Big whale in the space there. And of course, 3,000 T-shares gone. And they were 1,153 days out of 1,850 days on this one. So a big deal. And of course, let's see what the comments we got there. Hodl Dog, thank you for your services, Hodl Dog. It's Hodl Dog, one of the biggest influencers in the space, is pretty happy with that. Johnny No Good is pretty happy too. So, people in the Hex community are getting pretty used to big days. But of course, this is a huge day in penalties today. Pretty big day. Now, we had that one. What else we have? 20 million here This is on Pulsechain too, 54 million penalty. Wow. Negative 30% ROI. What was the other one? Negative, it was 29%. They got positive ROI on that one. But this one here, 1,153 days out of 2,590 days. And of course, massive penalties, 54.8 million hex penalty, negative 30% APR there. Wow, ouch, hex stake altered. Don't know why, but that's what people do. Anyway, we'll just keep going. Have they learned nothing? They've been in here for so long. Have they learned nothing? I don't know, just the way it goes. 1,153 days staked out of 259 days. This is on the ETH side now, so we jump to the Pulsechain side. Obviously, they're doing on that side too, and 54 million on that side as well. What else? Kind of cool. Is that pretty much it? I think that's it on there. And then we had kind of cool. We had some big buying of Hex. What do we have? $167,000 bought on PulseX V1 6 hours ago. So there's some good news there on the Pulsechain side, and that leads us in from the Hex alert. So that was pretty much it. And that leads us into the Hex Daily payouts, because that gives you some explanation of what's happening with the price chart and with the Hex Daily stats, because the payouts today are absolutely massive. Day 1348 for you with your T-shares, your mining Hex, immutable code on the blockchain. There's no middle person on that one, no middleman. And of course, it's immutable code there. So we've got the 11th of August, 2023. We've got day 1348. The price of Hex has got snapshot there at 0.0477, so under half a penny, down 5.8%. But the payout, wow, payout there, 10.69. Now I've got to bring up another chart here because this is we've got to look at this visually. Let's I think it's is it Hex charts. I think it's Hex charts. We've got to look at this visually because this is kind of cool. Let us jump on. I have no idea what that account is, but let's go. Let's scroll down here and have a look. Hex price. Let's scroll down. Scroll. Yeah, but look at this. Whee! Yeah, ching ching. Hex.com. Hex.com will go hard. Yeah, Hex.com. All right, we got the price charts here. Look at this. We're well over 10 Hex per T-share. Look at this thing. And of course, these are other T-shares that we had, payouts we had. We got up here. Well, I'm just trying to get that 12.6 on 25th of February. That was a bit of a sad day, I think, but we got this one here, 10.8 Hex per T-share. And then we've got the all-time high here, 13.2 Hex per T-share. So we're right up there, folks, right up here there as well. Where we have this. This is way back and 5th of March, and that was 11.3. So we're right up today's payout on both chains. On both chains there. Remember, both chains, we've got two chains there. You can see we've got the pink for the Pulsechain. We've got the blue for Ethereum. And we've got Poly paid on both chains here. Look at that. Woo-hoo-hoo! So double the whammy. And, of course, adding those together, wow, that's like massive. So big, huge payday. Very, very cool. And, of course, what else there? We've got 10.692. And as Hodl Dog said, thank you for your service. So that's just what happens. We've got the share rate has increased 13.4. We're up to 29,000. Another milestone. Earlier pays better in Hex, right? It's because this share rate's going up all the time. It impacts compound interest, and of course, it reflects the fact that people doing short stakes can't outdo people doing longer stakes, right? So it's got a cool mechanisms like that. And yeah, 29,000. We're expecting this to go up and away, particularly on the November the 22nd later this year. We're expecting to get about a 1,400 Hex per T-share jump. And of course, only 9 days ago, we had 443 Hex per T-share jump. So that's going to be a pretty big deal. Average mine length, 5.10%. 7.1 years. Now this APY is for existing T-share holders, 63.58%. Of course, new T-share holders doing max share, I think it's around about 30% or so that people can get for those returns. Just remember that. So be careful when you're talking about APY and Hex there as well. We've got 214 million Hex in the pool, $250,000 US and 44 ETH in the pool on the ETH side. Let's jump over to the T-shares. The ownership pool of Hex is down 6,077 T-shares. We're sitting at 9,847,000 T-shares. So if you're got T-shares in here, you're one of the lucky bunch because you just got paid big time on that. It's kind of cool. You're just riding out the volatility, right? You're going to ride out the volatility. Some people say we're in a getting ready for a giant multi-year bull flag breakout on Hex. So stay tuned for that. Lock percentage of coins, 9.3% is the lock percentage of coins. The penalties say, look at that. Wow. 81 million. This is just on the ETH side. 81 million hex penalties. Unbelievable. What do you say about that? You slap yourself around a bit. I don't know. What do you do? Splash the water on your face? I don't know. You go outside and scream, and people wonder, what the heck's he talking about? But there we are, 81 million hex penalties. Amazing there. Look at the payout up over 105 million. You got to remember that 50% of the penalties go to the origin account address. That is deflation, and you never see that again, right? So goodbye. That's pretty much it. So there's a lot of things here. The current holders are down 5, and the miners are up 4 on the ETH side, 120,396. Let's go to the Pulsechain. Pulsechain, of course, we got day 91. We finished day 91, and we got the day 91. We got the 11th of August. The price there just under 1 penny at 0.0942. Price down 8.6%. Payout on Pulsechain 10.786 hex per T-share. Share rate up 20, over 29,002. The average mine length shorter on the ETH chain 7.02 years. The APY 63%. And of course, let's go to the T-shares. T-shares are down 15,749, which is a lot. That's a lot. So down to 9,873,000 on the T-shares. How does that compare to Ethereum? Let's have a look at the Ethereum T-shares. I can't remember exactly the number. But 9847, and we've got 9873. So 47, so 50. That's 26,000 T-shares difference. More on the old Pulsechain side and the ownership pool. 9.48% of hex is locked on Pulsechain. We've got 83.5 million in hex penalties there. Pretty cool. And we've got 106.5 million in payout. Unbelievable, right? Unbelievable. Look at that thing. Man. And remember, 50% goes to the 08. It's deflationary, which is kind of cool. People wonder why, these I kind of see them as like regulators that regulate inflation. The 08, and it's kind of cool like that. 54 is the increase in liquid holders on Pulsechain, and 10 miners there. So 10 new hex miners, 123,804. So it's kind of cool. That's the Hex Day stats, folks. We're now on day 1349 on the ETH chain. And we're on day 92 for Pulsechain. So kind of cool. I think it's 92. Is it 92? I think it is, yeah. Day 92 on Pulsechain. All right, that's pretty much it. And of course, we got some cool news as well from Golki. I did see this yesterday. Someone else had posted this as well. I didn't talk about it because I wanted to get it vetted first. Breaking news, new Hex front end for Pulsechain, Ethereum, and Pulsechain testnet, hexcrypto.com. So there's a new front end. And of course, it looks pretty snazzy. And of course, it's from Hex Toys, I believe. I'm pretty sure it's from Hex Toys. And that is the front end. Look at that. Woo! Hot dog, the dog. Looks good. Ethereum mainnet, Pulsechain mainnet, and Pulsechain testnet v4. It's got transfer and stakes. Kind of neat. And it looks very, very cool. Very hexy. Looks very hexy. And of course, looking good there. I believe this is from Hex Toys. It's got lots of charts too. If you hit on the old Hex thing there, it's also going to take you down the charts as well. T-share daily close. Got all that. Daily hex per T-share payouts are really, really clever. Daily payouts, the charts as well are very, very cool and looking good there on that one. So that is pretty neat. So very nice. I'll post that in the chat there in case you want to check that out as well. Yeah, and I believe the creator is Hex Toys, if I remember rightly. Bam. There it is at hexcrypto.com, a new front end, and it looks pretty good. Pretty good to me. I like that. All right, and that's a big shout out to Golki reposting that too. What else? Yeah, I think it's Hex Toys. Let's go to Hex Toys. Pretty sure it's Hex Toys that created that. Let's go ahead and have a look. Pretty sure. Scroll down here. Where is it? Hexcrypto.com, seeking testers and your valuable feedback. Yeah, so Hex Toys is the creator of this new front end. So there we are, folks. If you want to find out more details, go to Hex Toys and talk about it. If you want to have any questions before using it, for example. But that is it. Hextoys.com. Of course, Hex Toys also doing NFT marketplace too. One of the 3 marketplaces that are up at the moment. We've got 3 more to come. Mitra, How to Pulse, and Pixel Park. All right, so that is pretty much it for that. What a day. Is that a busy day? Did you guys like it? Was it busy? Let's have a quick look at the stable coins. We've got CST, of course. Liquidity is building up there too. Let's have a look at how much has been minted so far. I will be talking about this a lot more in the future. We've got the price parity, almost back to $1. Let's go have a look at how much is in existence. We're coming up to hour 15, which is my max period. Still says we've got $326,000 in CST. I know that a lot of ACHs are still coming through, so we'll be watching that number as well. I don't really have access to it because I can't join up because I'm in the wrong country. So that's the way it goes. All right, there we go. We will, on the 1st of September, I believe we're coming up to that. All right, let's leave it on the old Hex combined chart. That's Hex at the moment, 1.4 cents, EHEX and PX. We're going to wrap it up now, but let's get into the final comments, and then we're going to close it all up. And don't forget, TYRH is going to be launching probably in about an hour, from the looks of it. Yeah, less than an hour. Yeah, about 15 minutes. TYRH V3 is going live. Who else is we got? Francis, is we got Francis here. Pumpkin Owl says, haven't heard much about Pulsepot. Well, Pulsepot is in, Dev is in the chat there. And of course, they are waiting for the fetch oracles. That's why we think there's a delay on Pulsepot, but it was on the roadmap coming up pretty quickly. So I'd expect that once we get fetch oracles, so it's probably a few weeks away, a bit like liquid loans and that's probably the time frame. Maybe, 3-4 weeks minimum away. We got Christian as well. PP on Pulsechain, it has been doing okay. Don't see sleep on PP on Ethereum, says Christian. Brennan says catch the replay later, folks. See you there, Brennan. And Superman RH absence is innovation. yeah. Well, Pulsechain is the people's chain, and people. We got so many devs on it, building such a big community. It's just doing its thing. Mix says, hey, Matthias, sacrifice 2/3 done. Who cares about another sacrifice? Yeah, so Matthias is doing it. They got some pretty cool technology in there. Definitely worth checking out. Obviously, I'm not really generally talking about sacrifice projects, but that is one that looks like they bring good utility to Pulsechain, so you can check that one out if you want it. It's about to close, I think. We've got Briz in the house there. Hey, family, good to see you, Briz. Welcome to the chat. Icosa Hedron, let's go, says Briz. Yeah, 100%. And Mix says Hedron update. Oh, yeah. If you want to chat about that update, get into our Discord. We've got audio chats. You can get in there and talk about that. We have got all the updates from Telegram there and pasted in there. So it's kind of cool. Let's grow, says Mix. Absolutely. I like your little orange there. I see what you did. Fame. Oh, yes. Yeah, I think Fame is going to surprise to the upside on the old Fame. I think that will probably do pretty well. Archie says, mega show. Thank you, sir. Have a good walk. You too. Day 24 is my walk. So I did day 23 yesterday. Day 24 is my walk day. So we're heading towards 300. Let's do it. Francis says, yes, Superman. You're welcome. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We're going to wrap up. Take care. Get into Discord. I will see you guys again tomorrow. Bing, bing, bing. And of course, what a day. So much stuff happening. Pulsechain's not going anywhere. It's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And you just got to ride out the FUD and DCA for the win. Not financial advice, of course, to your own due diligence, all that good stuff. If you're new to the channel, you're on Superman Crypto, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. If you leave comments, I will get to those as well. If you're on Hex Token, of course, likewise, subscribe, hit the bell, hit the like button, and of course, I'll respond to your comments as well. And special thanks to Detached Soul for the super sticker today. And we all appreciate what you do for this community. I appreciate it, and I appreciate what you guys do too. So a big shout out to the community. Big shout out indeed. All right, take care, everybody. Let's play out the highest stakes on the way out. Peace out. Enjoy the movie this weekend if you're going. Big shout out for the support, and I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.
Richard Hart. Genius.
Legendary.
The arrogant.
Bit of a narcissist.
The benevolent king.
250,000. Hate me. I'm farther than you'll ever be in your whole life. Whatever the governments have been doing, it's not worked out. You've never had worse interest rates. Your money has never been worth less. And the only thing that's making it better is cryptocurrency.
Crypto is money without governments, and it is money without banks.
You're not going to meet another product like this as long as you live. Yes, every scammer in the world is going to tell you something similar.
Good morning, everyone. Are you ready to look for some fraud this morning?
They are promising 40% annual return.
Everything I have worked for is staked in Hex.
Good.
I put it all in.
All what?
All of our house money.
No, I don't think that it's a scam. Because I trust Richard Hart.
If ultimately this is all a big performance art project, people are gonna get fucked.
So that means I should trust you.
Listen, I think you should trust me, but if you get into the habit of trusting people like me, you get the crap scammed out of you.